Hello everybody, welcome back. I am about to go out to book club. I'm very excited. It was a gorgeous day in London as well. It's going to be so nice all week. This month's book club is in a bar in Mayfair called Wine Bar, which is absolutely beautiful. Obviously I'm going to show you when I get there. I've sort of perfected my routine for my book club days now, where I have the whole day to myself, don't see anybody, don't like put any work bits in. I just sit and reread the book all day, read around the book. So by the time this time comes around, I'm like chomping at the bit to talk to people about it. So I'm so excited. I really can't wait. I'm wearing a very nice shirt from Align. I think lots of you will like this one. It's really nice and boxy. Some black trousers, which are from St Agni, and then these shoes from COS. I'm glad I did that. So they've got a sticker on the bottom still. Which I haven't worn out of the house yet, so high risk because they might be uncomfortable, but I've not got to do too much walking, so enough walking to get an idea of how uncomfortable they will be, but not enough to really suffer if I don't have time to do that. We're going to do that later, so I should go wash my hands. I've done that, and I'll take you with me for that bit, and then yeah, jump on the train. The book that we read this month was The Marriage Plot by Jeffrey Eugenides. Certain things I learnt while reading it was that it's pronounced Eugenides and not Eugenides. It's always really lovely, isn't it, when you realise you've spent quite a considerable amount of time talking about somebody and saying their name wrong. So that's what happened to me there. Doing my fastest walk through Mayfair. Not a cloud in the sky. It's so gorgeous. This is our venue in a wine bar in here. It's like a deli upstairs and then a wine bar downstairs. It's very beautiful. This is it. Can you believe this is downstairs, that farm shop? This is in like the middle of Mayfair. It's so perfect.
Change my name to promise you, yeah. Dying inside cause I want to, yeah. Didn't I say I wanted to, yeah. Honey, I changed
Following day. First day on the internet in a tank top. I've been sat working in the garden, which is so lovely because it's such a beautiful sunny day. Actually look a little bit burned, don't I? Need to be careful of that. But it's so nice to be outside. I'm just making an iced coffee, which is lovely. I'm feeling so good after last night. It was such a brilliant evening. I had such an amazing time. We talked about the book for over 2 hours. It was actually, most people didn't like it as well, which made for a really, really fun and interesting discussion. But I had the nicest evening. The venue was perfect. It was so good. So nice to be in Mayfair. Like, I never go to parts of London like that, really. I know whenever I do go, I say that as well. Like, I never go to this part of London, but it is so incredibly beautiful and fancy and posh and amazing. So that was great. So thank you to everybody who came, and yeah, just thank you to everybody who is supporting Buffy's and being a part of it. I'm so just enjoying it so much. Excuse the fly that you can hear buzzing up there. It's stuck behind the blinds. As flies are wont to do, flying helplessly against a window, closed window. And yeah, so while I'm on the topic of thank yous, I also want to introduce this video's sponsor, which is a brand called Songmont. They make really, really beautiful leather goods. Handbags is what we're focusing on, and one handbag in particular. One of the comments in my last video, the outfit video that I did, said that you missed the vlogs where I do like a week in outfits of what I'm wearing. And I thought, do you know what? This is so perfect to do for this video in sponsorship with Songmont as well, because the bag, which you'll see now throughout the video, is incredibly versatile. You can wear it with everything. And it's really big and really roomy. Well, I got the bigger size of it, so you can just fit lots of things in it. So it's kind of one of those stylish, practical pieces which my wardrobe is built on and my personal style is built on. So yeah, I wanted to introduce them and say thank you to them for sponsoring this video, and I will style up the handbag throughout the video as well. It's beautiful. You're going to really, really like it, and it comes with loads of accessories, which I think you're also going to really like. So yeah, thank you, Songmont. I'm at home for most of the day before I go out this evening to a friend's house, so I'll show you what I'm wearing when I head out later on this evening. And yeah. Oh goodness, look down here. I should redo that. So this is the perils of a hairpin. This in the background is the fancy red light mask. We're going to talk about that later. But I am on my way out for the evening. I've got on my trusty blue Arquette shirt. Very excitingly saw this, Donnie sent me a recent lookbook today, and they are releasing a blue shirt that's really similar to this, but like a silky one. I don't know when it's out, I'll have to ask them. Oh, what is that? Water or oil? Oh, honestly, I give up. Anyway, these are Donnie. Hopefully soon I'll have a link to a similar blue shirt. This beloved Arquette one is just one of the best things I've ever bought. Chanel shoes, and then this is the Songmont bag. So this is it fully empty, and I'm gonna show you the accessories throughout the video. We're gonna tease the Songmont bag throughout. But it's this beautiful leather bag. As you can see, it's got these little bits on it to hang the various accessories. This is fully empty at the moment, but you can imagine how much this is going to fit in it. It's the most beautiful leather. It's kind of like a slightly crinkly leather, so it feels really nice and textured. I think it looks really good to say it's empty as well. Normally, like a really big bag, you have to really fill, don't you, for it to not look just a bit silly, I suppose, when they're empty. But this looks great, even empty. So yeah, this is me. Got a bottle of wine going in there because I'm going to a friend's for dinner. We'll worry about this later. What could that be? I think it must be oil or something from the kitchen. But yeah, I just love outfits like this so much. And I just need to redo my hairpin. This one's from COS and it's beautiful. It's a really nice one. The rain chased me down to Goldie again. Now I'm higher than anyone here. And that ain't nothing on me, yeah. But baby, I swear it, I wanted to call, but on my way around, I happened to fall. She's a MUA, I can't icky haul. In a vanity mirror, we're losing it all. Where we shacked up with the band on the way. Catch the sweet rain, the side of a ray. In it, I reflected all of the day, and I will fade in the night, yeah. Will you apologize? Guys, I'm up and out with a coffee. I rarely go out and get coffee in London. To go to the greengrocers because I went into the fridge this morning thinking, let us have some breakfast. Barren. I've not been a good grown-up this week, so food shop time. All right, I'm back. I have slightly burnt the tops of my arms. Don't talk to me about it, please. It was foolish. Will I ever learn? Right, let's show you what I got from the greengrocer. So with my favourite drinks that I keep going on about, I got the blood orange one this time, and the one that I know I like, which I can't see here, the lemon and ginger one. They're so good, I love them. These little crispy crispies, some parmesan, some flaked almonds to make a carrot salad that I saw on TikTok. Some more of the naughty stuff. The best tuna you can buy. We have discussed this. Still very expensive, but cheaper here than it is in New York. Cheapest ever in Italy. It's like insane how much more it is. Some eggs. They're for brown, are my preference. Some tomatoes. Cherry toms. A chili. The elite berry. Some bananas that are just, there we go, just making sure they're really nice and bruised after having them in the bottom of the bag. Some basil for a bean salad I want to make. An avocado for breakfast. Carrots for the aforementioned carrot salad. Apples. Some lemon. I got some blood oranges. Probably to have, well, mostly just because I was excited about seeing them. I'm definitely going to put one of them in, well, not a whole one, but a slice of one in that later on. Some feta cheese, my bean salad, another lemon, another carrot. Here is a carrot. Here is a carrot. Here is a carrot. It's all the carrots. I was going to call that a tomato. That's an apple. God, it's like a test this. And some asparagus, 'cause it's asparagus season and I'm eating a lot of it. Look at that beautiful harvest spread. I accidentally made a wonderful seam there. So yeah, I actually go back to New York next week. I love talking over some fruit like this. Go back to New York next week, so I need to eat all of this over the weekend, but I will. I've got a friend staying tonight. And I'm at home for a lot this weekend, so this will probably last 2 days realistically. But yeah, it's not even 9 AM yet. I've done such a lot already. I've also, hang on, I'm going to talk to you about the red light mask, but not over some fruit. Hello everybody. Here I am with my Dermaflex. So I talked about this in my last video, that I was being sent this by Current Body, which I'm unbelievably grateful for, because this is a very expensive little machine. They're also the brand that do the floppy masks that you've seen. I have one of those as well. I'll link them, everything in the description box, and I've got a discount code for $150/pounds off. So I'll write the information for that. So I've been using this. There's a fly, again, there was a fly here the other day. There's a fly here again now. It's ginormous, it's like a small bird. So I've been using this once a day, or trying to use it once a day. I'm gonna go through the pros and cons of it. So let me turn it on. You have to plug it in, kind of probably a con, because you have to be near a plug socket. The pros are basically that the results are gonna be heads and shoulders above what the other mask can give. It's just so much more powerful. So in terms of actually what it's doing, there's no contest, but it is, as it's a big investment, we're going to talk it through thoroughly. So you have to be by plug. You also, the biggest con, I think, is that you can't do anything else at the same time. So with the mask, I can sit and read, or I can be on my phone. This, you are under it with your eyes closed. It comes with goggles as well, because it's so bright. And I'm aiming to do 30 minutes a day, which is what my dermatologist has recommended. Some days I'm just not managing to fit that much in, because it's quite a long time to have to just lay and do nothing. So this morning, which I'm going to try and keep doing, I set an alarm half an hour before I needed to wake up, and just rolled over, put this over my face, and then dozed for half an hour under the light. All of these things, by the way, are very un-me. Like, I'm really not disciplined with stuff like this, and I'm trying really hard, because I'm seeing results, to just keep up habits, and it's not, I find stuff like this really difficult to do. So if you're also like that, don't worry, welcome. I'm like the least disciplined person ever. So then the really good thing about it is it has 3 different colour settings. Different wavelengths, but different colours makes more sense to me. So we've got blue, which I believe is really good, like antibacterial and good for spots. Red, which does all the good stuff. And yellow, which penetrates even deeper than red. And you can do a mix of both colours. So I have been recommended by my dermatologist twice a week to do red and blue for half an hour. There it goes. You can see how bright that is. And for the other days in the week, 5 days, do red and yellow at the same time. So the fact that you can mix these colours is really fancy, like the other ones. You definitely can't do that on the mask, it's just red. And yeah, I mean, I think the results, I mean, I just feel so much better about my skin. I think you can kind of see there that it's really, 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 really smooth. All the scarring is really going down around the bottom here. Obviously, I'm now freckly because the sun's come out, and I have started to use the stuff that I got for rosacea, but oh my god, there's a daddy long legs as well, it's never ending. Is that inside or outside? I hope outside, I don't love those. On my cheeks, because that has picked up a little bit again as the sun's come out. But yeah, overall, I'm so close to this daddy long legs, but I can't work out if it's inside or outside. It's just so much better. And like in terms of fine lines and wrinkles, I mean, my forehead isn't too bad, but it'll be interesting to like really watch how things develop. That you can see some lines there. I think where my skin holds lines the most is in incisal lines. I notice it in photos a lot that they really stay. It doesn't bounce back. Actually, it looks a bit better. I think I'm anti-aging live on camera. It's pretty impressive. So yeah, I think a combination of all things are definitely helping. It's really hard, like I said in the last video, to pinpoint exactly what the golden thing is. Probably isn't one thing. But yeah, I wanted to do a big review of this, and I'm going to take it to New York with me. I go to New York next week, so you can, like, if you do travel a lot, it goes flat like this. You know, you're not taking this in hand luggage, let's be honest. You're going to have to take a big suitcase. but it can pack flat like that. So it is portable, and I think if you're investing this much in something and you're somebody that travels, it's with the view of, it's because you can take it anywhere and use it all the time. So I'm just going to try and keep being really disciplined, but finding half an hour to lie and do nothing in the day is quite difficult. And if you didn't watch the last video, the key thing is that you mustn't do these with your skincare on. It doesn't work in the same way. So I also can't like get ready for bed and lie under it and then just turn it off and fall asleep, because you have to get back out of bed to do your skincare and then get back into bed. So the morning's working for me, but that's been the finding half an hour a day to do it's been a bit tricky. And also just because I've got no self-discipline. So like when it comes to it, do I get half an hour to scroll on my phone, or do I sit under this for half an hour? I'm gonna want to scroll on my phone. But that's my little skincare update. 5 minutes of yapping on about that. I'm working from home today. Every day I'm working from home. I don't know why I said that like that was something special. I'm going to sit and work in the garden actually, because it's going to be 27 degrees. Best city in the world when it's sunny, London. No contest. If you are not from London, if you are like, or anywhere you live, you ever get the chance to come to London in the summer, do it. Best city in the world. It's so much fun. So yeah, I feel really good. I'm really happy, which is so nice to be able to say, isn't it? I feel really light and lovely and just content and calm and peaceful. All the words that we strive for in life. And sunburnt, which one we don't strive for that. Just did microneedling. I thought that I would show you what my skin looks like. This is probably about 2 hours after I've got home, just been sorting things out. I'm red. It hurts. I can't lie, it hurts. It's like bearable but wincingly painful. And yeah, this is it, a couple of hours after. So if you're going to have it done, you definitely need to have a clear day after it. But it won't be like this for too long. I'll keep updating you all as it goes. Come on, guys. What is this? I didn't sleep well, but this is the following morning. Just stopped back into some different light, but it's just unbelievably smooth. Like, it feels like fresh baby skin, basically. But yeah, still some redness. I think it's going to take another day or so. I'm going to make this tea and wake up. It's like 6:30, I think. My new favourite filming spot. I'm going to sit down and talk through books with you very briefly and skin update. But before that, I'm going to show you the accessories that I promised that I would show you in the sunblock bag, which is filled with bits like a camcorder, which I need to put in there. I did a really exciting shoot on Friday for Buffy stuff, and this was the bag that I had with me all day long, which by the end I think was filled with something like, I went to 5 different bookshops. I think I had 12 books in this at the end of the day. So it's been tested well. So yeah, it's full of receipts and things like that already. But the little accessories it comes with. Now, obviously, bag charms have been having a real moment. And I'll be totally honest, I'm not sold on bag charms. What I am sold on is like practical additions to things that actually is helpful. And I think anything that kind of, for me anyway, my personal style, anything that you add to an outfit that you actually interact with as part of the outfit, if that makes sense, as opposed to just being purely decorative, adds to a piece for me. Oh, sorry, I just wanted to tuck that in. I'm having a dreadful time with this jumper. Anyway, I have 2 little accessories. The first is this little AirPods case. Let me get my AirPods, I just charge them up. So, AirPods. So everything comes separately. So I've just attached this to the end one here. And then they fit perfectly in their little home. How satisfying is that? And then you can just have those there. I love that. It's really securely attached as well, so there's no worries there, because I do get worried about stuff like that. And then the second one is this glasses case. And I have a pair of glasses here that I can use to demonstrate as well. These are from Jimmy Fairley. And yeah, just well, we all know how a glasses case works, doesn't it? But poppers together like that and then dangles down. How genuinely handy is that? And I like, you could do mix and match, that they have them in different colours and different fabrics. So you could do like a suede glasses case with a leather bag, but I personally just like it all being one colour like this, because I think it's slightly more leans practical as opposed to it feeling like a fashion accessory, which for me I love. I also, from Friday, poppered up the ends like this, which kind of changes the shape slightly. Can you see? It's like cinched in there and baggier on that side, which I also really like how that looks. So yeah, I'm going to use this for today again. Let me just get this fastened up. There we go, fastened back up. So yeah, I'm going to use this for today. I'm just wearing, I've got such a boring outfit on because the weather's gone a bit rubbish again, and I just can't be bothered trying to dress for wintry days, so I'm just keeping it very, very simple. But yeah, I really am super impressed with this bag. Everything about it I think is chic. We shot some photos for it for an Instagram post as well. I'm working with Songmont on an Instagram post. And we did it all on film. I've not got the film back yet, but I was shooting my friend Simon, and every photo he was like, oh darling, that bag looks great, that bag looks great, every time. So I'm so excited to get that film back as well. But yes, beautiful. Aside from the little nifty bits here and here, this also fits an iPhone in. My iPhone's in my hand, so you're just gonna have to trust. I think you can get the gist there. That is iPhone sized. Very handy because you don't have to do a big route around, it's just there. Also, if you've got a 13-inch laptop, I do not, mine is bigger. This is 13 inches. That fits in perfectly. Also, I love the fact that would change the structure of the bag a bit and make it really rigid on one side, which I think is nice. But yeah, I mean, you can see how much it fits in. It's great. Let's talk about books. I promised this in the last vlog and didn't get around to it. I think the last time I spoke about books, this is what I was reading. Possession by A.S. Byatt. There's always bits everywhere for the things I'm taking photos of for Buffy's. That was a photo that didn't work out. Lots of attempted ones. So this book is sort of a historical fiction, slightly mystery-esque as well. It's following two scholars who are scholars of a fictional poet in the 1800s, some year like that, and Victorian era. And they basically discover these letters. I'm always so worried they're about to spoil something. That's fine, that's on the back. They discover these letters that allude to a romance between the two poets that they each individually are scholars in. And they sort of try and track down more letters and piece together what has happened between these two poets. There is pages and pages and pages of poetry. There are pages and pages and pages of sort of the transcription of the letters, which are written in very Victorian English, which I find very hard to read. So I found this book very, very challenging. I really can see why it's very well loved. It's very multi-layered, and Byatt does the most incredible job of making these poems. I had to keep checking, like, are these poems real? Are these letters real? She really kind of jumps between the modern day narrative to the narrative of the two poets really beautifully. So it was very absorbing in that way. I was really within the world of it all. And I was especially taken in by the modern day bit, because there's also the story of the two scholars was really, really beautifully done. So I'm really glad I read it. I am truly relieved it wasn't a book club book, because I would have found it quite hard to lead a discussion on it, because it was a very, very hard read. Challenging, but in a really positive way. And I'm glad I tackled it. But yeah, wouldn't quite feel confident enough necessarily to host a discussion around it, which is also fine. Like, if you're ever thinking about coming to the book clubs, you do not need to know what you want to say about books. It's all like a nice space for us just to work out how we feel about things and to feel safe kind of stumbling through explaining it. It's completely fine. But yeah, slightly more pressure I think on me when I'm hosting it. So glad I read it. Not up there with all-time favourites. Then the book club book that we did was The Marriage Plot by Jeffrey Eugenides. I have read Middlesex, I've read The Virgin Suicides. Those both considerably better than this, in my opinion. He was basically trying to rewrite a marriage plot as it was written in a Victorian time, kind of the Austen style stories where the happy ending is that they get married, and it sort of builds up to that throughout, and there's maybe some emotional turmoil between them, a betrayal, whatever, something separates them in some way, then they come back together and live happily ever after. He was trying to rewrite that. It's sort of a love triangle that he plots, starting in college in the 1980s at Brown University. So there's a kind of nice academic side to it, which I do really enjoy. I do like reading stories set around universities, people studying. It's something that I miss in my own life, so I like being absorbed in that world. And he did that really well. He's an incredible writer. I really do. I am a big Eugenides fan, because I think he has a way of, if he tells me, you're in this room, you're with this character, this is what's happening, I'm like, Jeffrey, you've got me, I'm there, say no more. He is so concise, and it's so readable, but also feels quite literary at the same time. But if you haven't read any Eugenides, I would start with Virgin Suicides, and then move on to Middlesex, and I would only tackle this when you've done those two, if I'm honest. And then following book club, I always go into a reading slump. I think as I get so involved in the world of the book that I'm reading, that then whenever I try and read something else in the days after, I'm like, no, I need more time just to stay in this world. So I moved on to a short book for The Next World. This was one of the short lists for the International Booker this year, which I vaguely thought maybe I'll try and work through that short list, but I think I've got other things to focus on reading wise. This is A Leopard Skin Hat by Anne Sayre, translated by Mark Hutchinson. Really didn't do it for me. It's about a narrator who's called the narrator the whole way through, and his lifelong friend, this woman called Fanny, who has a undisclosed, you could make a very good guess of what it is as the book goes on, mental illness. And it's it's not anchored in anything. It's kind of about their friendship over the years. It's really, really short, and it's very big font as well, so you can read it in an afternoon basically. It's not really anchored in any plot at all. It's just sort of interactions between them and him watching her deteriorate at certain points and then get well again, and kind of the little signals he would look for in his friend to be able to guess where she was at, how was her mental health on that day. And there were some really beautiful paragraphs of how he does this, of the subtleties of how you pick up on the signals of people that you know so well, which I really enjoyed. But overall, after even 50 pages of that less than, I was like, okay, I could do a bit more from this. So despite it being a short book, it took concentration for me to stay with it, because it was a bit too unfocused. Well, no, because it kind of is focused, because it's just about that. But it just wasn't anchored in enough for me. So glad I read it. Really short read, but not my fave either. Right, I just had to Google how to say this, but I read the first in the Earthsea tetralogy, which is a series of 4 books. Apparently, wouldn't have known that. So I read the first one, which is The Wizard of Earthsea. Each of these are quite short. Obviously, this is a 600-pager altogether, or 700. And you best believe that even though I'm reading out of this one book, I'm marking them as 4 separate ones on Goodreads. I'm not missing that opportunity. So I finished the first one, The Wizard of Earthsea. These, I believe, are tailored towards young adults and are seen as young adult fiction. Well, if you'd have handed me this book at 15 years old, I'd have been screwed. I don't really think that they're young adult. There's a simplicity to them, definitely. And I think that's a fair generalisation to say a lot of sort of fantasy books tend to be on the longer side, because there's huge amounts of detail and the world building is very intricate. I don't know how Le Guin does what she does, but it's so unbelievably concise and quite broad strokes almost of how she describes something. And it builds so quickly in your mind with so little detail. And she skips through huge chunks of people's lives. This is about a wizard called G-E-D. I'm going with Jed, but it could be Ged. I'm not sure. Jed/Ged. Jed-Ged. Should we call him G? Let's call him G. So we follow G, who is becoming a wizard, and he goes to essentially wizardry school, but it's not Hogwarts at all. Then he's kind of moving through this archipelago of all these different islands which make up Earthsea and the whole place. There is a little map at the front, which we always love to have a little map at the front. And yeah, it skips through huge chunks of his life. And I don't know how to, there's moments of very sort of intense action, and it builds to all this action, and there's sort of the kind of evil force within it is something that's sort of following him around, and it's not very tangible, and it's all very eerie, and it kind of comes to a head at certain points, and the actual moments of action seem so brief, and then you kind of jump to after it, and he's suddenly in a different place where he's been sleeping for 3 days as he recovers. And for some reason that wasn't annoying. It just moves you through things at the most incredible pace, which is why I think as a teenager, if I'd have read this, I'd have found this quite hard to visualize and build the world up in my own mind. But also in the same way, there's a simplicity to it, which I can understand why it's seen as fiction for young adults. But I really enjoyed it. I think I'm gonna read something else before I read the next one and alternate for the next few weeks, because individually they're all like 170 pages, something like that, under 200 pages, which is also super readable as well. And yeah, I've read The Left Hand of Darkness by Le Guin, and it has a similar thing. You were in it instantly, drops you in this world, gives you very little time to situate yourself, but writes in a way that actually kind of really holds your hand through that. But it's not childish, it's just really subtle how she does it, and really impressive. So yeah, I from so far, The Left Hand of Darkness is, head and shoulders above these for me, but that's not considered young adult. So maybe that's sort of why it actually is slightly more challenging and therefore more enjoyable. But yeah, these are brilliant. I'm really excited to follow G, to those who know him best, throughout all 4 of the tetralogy. There we go, learnt a new word. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. I've just talked for 11 minutes. I go back to New York this week, so your next vlog's gonna be naturally me unpacking some food shopping in New York. I cannot wait to get to my pickle section in the supermarkets there. Huge thank you to Songmont for sponsoring this video. I'm gonna link the bag in the description box, and all the accessories that I had on it too, because yeah, it's such a beautiful bag. I've been using it so much this week and I love it. So massive thank you to Songmont for sponsoring this video. Thank you to everybody for watching it, and I will see you in the next one.